Brands Hatch is where we find ourselves for Mad Racing League this week. One of my favorite circuits over in the UK. Starting off here, the pit straight into turn 1. This is a brilliant example of outside left to inside right for that. Into Druids here, turn 3. I guess turn 2. You'll notice that we're in a BMW today. I forgot, or made a mistake in saving my replay file, so I had to borrow a replay file from someone else in the league. Unfortunately, I won't have as much coverage because he's not rendering all cars, so they're not available for the replay. They're just not populated. So here we just headed up the hill into Hathorns. They call this a little mini straight into Westfield. See how you exploit the curves here. Shen curve into Sterling's. You can actually go more on the inside there. And then finally into Clark curve. This was his fastest lap, and he lost about a couple tenths there. But it gives you an idea what the circuit looks like, how much fun it is, the undulations. I really like the flow of the track. There's a lot of just, throw it in, pitch it in, figure it out. Here we go with the start of the race. I'm qualified right back there. You can see me try to split 2 cars going down the pit straight. Very aggressive move. Downhill through the bend. Such a scary turn. It's possible to go to too wide, and we actually make it through here, no incidents. There's more cars behind us, but again, we're not rendering all those. Here's my start. Watching the leader, I get a really good run. A bit cheeky. I send it up the middle, but I back out. I'm like, who am I kidding? That's just going to be a wreck for YouTube if I do that. So here we see the BMW and Porsche battling each other. That BMW is the replay file BMW. Well, you see how he steals the inside apex, pushing that Porsche out to a bad line. Here's a better look at this. This is going to give me an opportunity to pass the black Porsche. My onboard, you can see that. I just zip right past. Now, my Ferrari has much better balance heading into this, so I actually challenge the inside in the Surtees. I don't get a good exit, so I have to tuck back in, but you can see how the advantage of my balance compared to that kind of classic front wheel or front engine rear wheel drive BMW. So I'm going to use the TV camera for the next, to finish off this first lap here. You know what, everyone, as far as I can see in the replay file, kept their noses pretty clean. Some challenges for position, some clean passes, no big wrecks. Pretty impressive from everybody. You can see that dust getting kicked up there on the outside. It's awesome to see that. The circuit has recoverable off tracks almost everywhere. There's one exception. It's actually the off-camera angle from this. It would be, yes, so where these cars are exiting to the right, top of the screen, that's where it's super scary. We'll see a wreck there later on. It's very easy to send a tire there and have a big issue, but here's first and second. Running away with it, clearly. They have superior pace. The rest of us are just line astern. Oh, we hear some wrecks. What was that? Switching to this rear camera, we see this BMW just cook it on the brakes. He hits a car, another car gets hit, another car. So these cars that are disappearing and reappearing, that's just a function of the rendering that this guy has for his computer. Easier to run the sim if there's less cars rendered. So if they're far off the screen, he just doesn't populate them. Makes sense. So here's the leader dipping a tire into the grass, pushing cold tires, third lap, already made a mistake. This is when you got to collect yourself, back off a little bit. Eats that inside curb and just sends his rear tire out wide into a crash, crashing out from the lead. Switching to Day's onboard. Look how much inside curb. And see that grass get kicked up. Day throws on the brakes. Watches him just swerve right off track. Alright, we're going to pick things up now with the GT3s having caught the GT4s, trying to lap the slower class for the first time. There's a lot of things happening here, so I thought it would be a good time to pick up this race. You want to look somewhere, kind of look, oh, right there. Got a three-way GT3 battle. Jockeying for position, throwing the cars around in the grass again. These guys were back and forth through these turns as the lap concludes here. Starting the next lap. See some lights being flashed. Going to try and pass GT4s into the hardest turn on the track. A GT4 spins out, and now we have some collisions. There I go through. So look far, far ahead down the circuit. We'll see a GT4 go wide, lose control, cut back across the line. Oh, and then another car gets collected there through no fault of his own. Here's an onboard. Wow. I mean, kudos to this guy. He sent it. Had a great line. Here it is from my perspective. I would gain a position from that incident. But more importantly, I catch this guy. This guy, Thor. This is his first name, which is amazing. He just signed up for the league a couple hours before this race, and I get to put the pressure on him for the first time. Again, my Ferrari can actually hold that inside apex much better than the BMW. I get fantastic exit and slipstream, stealing the apex here for a beautiful, clean pass. It's okay to munch on a little grass here. Everything's looking great. I missed that inside apex. Here I am in front. I don't turn in soon enough. Hit the grass, and that beautiful pass I had undone. What made this even more frustrating for the context of the race is that I would be stuck behind Thor for 4 laps. Unable to pass. Here we can see a couple of my pass attempts, again having a superior inside traction. I'm going to try and get alongside where I made the pass before, but I barely have my front wheel to his rear axle, so I choose to back out of it. That's just reckless. I get a 1x for doing that, but it gives me an advantage into here. I again back out of it too tight. Switching to my hood camera. Wow, look at that closing speed I had on him. Almost a rear end from his wing. I think he makes a mistake in his line and checks up right in the middle. Wow. Easily could have been a wreck there. A little later in this lap, back on my hood camera. We have traffic in front. He's not sure what to do, hesitates. I'm just holding my inside line like I have been the whole time. He cuts across a little bit. Then I lose a second or so. So at this point I'm realizing, okay, things are getting dangerous. I need to make a pass. And more importantly, I have the guy behind me catching us because I'm getting slowed up, this battling. So I have it in my head, I am making a pass attempt next opportunity. Oh, I send it late into Surtees. Oh, I think he had it good on Thor. He had his eyes on the mirror. I've been harassing him for so long. He knew it was coming, so I respect that. And I think he'll do well in this league. And then the guy that was giving us pressure, he's like, I don't want to get caught up in all this. He'll make his pit stop. A few laps later, I make my pit stop, but watch the green cones. Oh, I was floating my thumb over the pit speed limiter and misclicked. And I accidentally hit the pit speed limiter, speeding in the pit lane, 40-second penalty. Wow, now we're looking at a battle for first place later in the race after pit stops. A pass attempt. Oh, but there's contact. We'll catch this from the onboard. Now, here they are lapping GT4. Bit of understeer, but you can't hit another car. That is reckless, and I would also say selfish. So here's his pass attempt. Turns in aggressively. He has room on the outside left. He would be served up a penalty. This guy will go on to win the race, but have his win revoked. I think this angle shows it well of how he had room and didn't give it. He didn't need to pinch that much on the inside and was very lucky that when Day crashed, he centered him, and so he didn't actually spin for the maneuver. So another race with controversy up front. Meanwhile, here's Day in the lead. The car in front of him is being lapped. After serving my penalty, I come out behind first place. Second place is behind me, but I'm in 16th. I'm a lap down. When this guy makes his mistake, I think he realizes, you know what, I just got to pull over here to get out of the way for the leaders coming through. That was actually for position against me. He didn't realize, I think, in his mistake. So everyone else pretty much finished the race as is. So here we are at the finish line. That guy's blinking his lights like he won it, but he would get penalized overnight, and there I am crossing the line. So a fun race around Brands. Sorry that I don't have more coverage. I'll try and get the replay saved next time.